Hello, everyone. Hello, my Cancer friends from my creative collective here. So, this is your April 2022 monthly creative energy forecast. I'm so grateful that you're here. This is Into the Infinite. I'm Charlie. I'm Charlie. These are my hands. Um, but we're going to dive right into your reading. There's a couple really amazing things happening this month in terms of. Moons, and also, we're going into Taurus. So, we are in Aries now, and we're going to be in Aries until the 19th. On the 1st of April, we have the Aries new moon, which is a great time to kind of activate that adventure, new beginning energy, and really examining the way that we want to begin anew relative to ourselves, right? Now, this month, you may find that you're balancing how you're feeling about yourself in relationships or in relationship in general. So this could be romantic, this could be otherwise, but it's really channeling all of that beautiful, emotional, nurturing, and sensitive, wise teacher energy that you bring to the table, Cancer. Wise emotional teacher. You help to teach the rest of us how to alchemize and work with our emotions. And there's definitely a deep, deep sense of feeling that you bring to the rest of us. So with that being said, this is a great time to really bring all of that energy to exploring, with the new moon, not only a sense of adventure, but, letting go also perhaps a little bit of any need to be right emotionally, letting go of it's sort of this, we get into this place when several things happen over a short period of time, we can get kind of locked into this battle with others about emotions and, this sort of stubborn need to be right. Now, that's more Taurian energy, so that could be a concern as you go more towards Taurus, but Aries is also this fiery energy. So if there's anything that you've been stuck in or feeling stuck emotionally, I think this is going to be a great month for you to really let that flow. And it's almost like I'm getting the image of like an ice jam on a creek or a river breaking apart, and just this flood of things coming forward. So that could be intuitively, that could be emotionally. And so in addition to the new moon on April 1st, we also have the full moon on the 16th, and that full moon is in Libra, which will be a great time to think about balancing relationships, to really focus on how you've been channeling emotional energy towards self, but then kind of turning it more towards the collective and the we, right? So that could be the we in relationships, at work, in your community, that kind of thing. So this is going to be again, this is a great month, I think. This is a great month for taking all of the things that we've learned in the last zodiacal year, and with all of the retrogrades. It was kind of packed in. The retrogrades were quite dense towards the end of the year, but so this is going to be an excellent time to, I guess, I want to say alchemize, but also just to integrate the emotional lessons that you've learned that will allow balance to flourish in your relationships and in your life, right? And also there may be a tendency to, in wanting to keep the focus off of you or wanting to keep the focus on you, sort of this emotional imbalance that may take over, so that you can be more we focused than me focused. So it might be a good time to resist the tendency or urge, if that is there, to really kind of hide your emotions and yourself in your emotions, and just kind of be the, oh, everything's fine, it's okay. But, I learned from another reader that fine is a 4-letter F word, which I love so much. I always said that snow is a 4-letter S word. So if it's snowing, I can't say it at work, or it was just a running joke. But so hearing that 4-letter F word is fine. I think that's very appropriate. For the way you may be feeling this month, and also the things that you may be kind of beginning with yourself, like starting these sort of promises to self in Aries time, to really move forward on, but be it creative projects or otherwise. But the reason why this energy is so powerful for you creatively is because you're an intuitive sign, and you're also a sign that's deeply very emotional, and not in a way that I'm saying is sensitive. I'm saying you're in touch, right? The shadow side is kind of losing touch with that, and giving into the needs of others, neglecting self. So this is going to be a really important time for you to do that, so that you can use those emotions when they're flowing, and that intuition and that feeling of connection connection and channeling it into creative projects, be it relationships where you're creating together, be it projects where you're creating on your own, right? So it's really this overview, this time to take a broader view, and then to really, once we get into your season, to really bring all of this together, right? I think about the Chariot, that just came to mind, the Chariot with the two energies coming together in the front. So I think that with the going into Taurus season, it's going to be great because all of the things that you're learning will allow you it'll give you a better view of how to, I want to say, savor more and balancing your comfort zones in terms of the me and we with the action of Aries. So I think this is a really good time. It's definitely not, it's not much water energy, but I think this allows for a refinement of the skills and all of the gifts that you bring to integrate with those that may be uncomfortable, right? I'm mostly air and fire. My progress chart is water and earth with some air mixed in too, but these are skills that we learn, right? So I think that if you're a Cancer sun, this is going to be a great time to integrate the skills that Aries is here to teach us, and that Taurus is here to teach us, and that Libra is here to teach us, right? So this is an excellent month for you, is what I'm trying to say. So it is a great time. It'll be a bit of a learning and integration period, I think, but not one that's in hermit mode. I think there's going to be a learning in and with other people too. So relative to creative projects. Now, before I make this a whole video just on talking about the energies this month, I'm going to dive into. And this just came to mind too, so forgive me. Again, this I'm channeling, so this is just information that's coming through. But I think that this month, what you're going to want to do is to create a sort of structure around your emotions that allows you to create better boundaries around feeding your me and then feeding the we as well. So there's going to be however that looks for you. It could just be saying no more. It could be, observing without absorbing, because you're a very intuitive and very sensitive and compassionate sign, right? So I think that this will be a good time to create more structure around your emotions, so that I'm feeling like you want it to be like a container as opposed to just spilling out everywhere. So it could be that you find time to really let go of things emotionally that are working or aren't working. Integrate things that are working and let go of what's not working, so that your container can be more solid, not just for you, but because the idea of a cup running over, right? I get the Ace of Cups coming to mind. So you want that sense of emotional fulfillment without, in the absence of that, your emotions can be like a bit of a sieve, and so too can your energy. So maybe set intentions around the Libra full moon on the 16th to balance that sense of emotional independence with interdependence, and pulling back from any tendencies toward codependence and caretaking for others unnecessarily. So, okay. Again, channeling. So that's all for you. Before I begin this reading, I would like to invite the angels, my guardian angels, my spirit guides, protectors, teachers, and their healing energy to this space. And I ask that it is a safe space that allows for the fullest expression of our light, humanity, ascension, and healing. Okay. So let us get into this. Now, I'm going to use the Muse Tarot by Chris Ann for this particular reading and spread. It's got a lot of I want to say feminine energy, but I feel like this could be masculine energy too, because I've seen men wear these colors, this palette so well, so it doesn't, gender is, it doesn't apply here. I used to joke with my friends that I'm like a gender ogre. It just doesn't, I defy expectations a little bit. So I hope that you do too in that. So Spirit, can you please give me some guidance for my wonderful creative collective for their April 2022 forecast, please, and thank you so much. The Chariot is where you're starting, which is your energy. So you're starting the month with a bang, I think. That is excellent energy for you, Cancer. I really like that. I knew it would come out. I knew because I saw it when I was doing the channeling for the energy of the month. 10 of Cups. Wow. That's amazing. That is fabulous. And we have the 6 of Swords. And we have the World, the Moon. A lot of your energy here, Cancer. This is great. Okay. Oh. Okay, and 10 of Swords. Okay. This position in this spread is you just kind of being how you're helping others this month. So how you're channeling your energy and what the creative energy is allowing you to do to help others. And what I got from this is the 10 of Swords. And I just got that you being absolutely done with something is going to be really helpful to other people. So take that as you will. I haven't even read the rest of this, but that just came rocketing through. So we'll see how this all goes. And then just so that you know, I'm clarifying these positions with the traditional Rider-Waite, my offering. So let's dive in, shall we? Okay, so there's a lot of energy this month. I feel like I'm getting this sense of home changing. And home, it could be the home that you've built within yourself. It could be a physical home. I'm seeing a moving away card. There's a lot of movement. And I'm getting this ending of cycles, broadly speaking. This is just broad reading of the energy here because the World is here, the 10 of Swords, but also the 10 of Cups. So I think that there's this, I almost get the feeling that, I don't know if you've ever seen this with the waves, but when they come in, the water that was here, it just kind of goes and folds right back in, and then there's a new wave. And I almost feel like you're at the place where that old water is folding into the new and just coming down. So I think that that is where you're at, and it's not a wave that you can't surf well. And I might actually use that 12-12 just on the time there. I might actually use that metaphor for this because we're really just surfing the energy of this month. But I feel like in more ways than one, there's a certain emotional energy that you're surfing and that you're navigating this month. This position is what your highest vision is for the month. So I think that this showing up in your position, this is you showing up in the vision position, tells me that there's a lot that's happened that's allowing you to step into your power. And I'm getting this this sort of emotional work that you've been doing, could be shadow work, that's allowing you to speak more from your solar plexus center as opposed to your throat. And there are ways that we speak through each energy center, right? This isn't just, oh, my throat chakra is the exclusive place that I speak through. The difference here, I think, is that there's a confidence that you're gaining. And I think that how you're currently using your gifts and skills and your creative talents related to this is you're bringing this sense of emotional awareness and fulfillment to the table. It's what I'm getting is this sort of full breadth and depth and awareness of your emotions. And that's what's really going to allow you to move forward on a project, momentum forward. This could also be, travel as well. So I think that this is really whatever this momentum forward, I'm hearing momentum is that has built is really going to be lifted up by your emotional intelligence and your capacity to read the emotions of others, as well as nurturing the emotions of others. Not all of us are great at reading emotions. There's implicit meanings. Like as a neurodivergent person, that sometimes it's almost like skipping a stone where like I get a lot of things and then one thing I might miss. So we're not all, emotional intelligence isn't just about reading emotions, but it's also the capacity to hold compassion, space, and empathy for others. And I think that you're doing an excellent job of that based on these placements here. So I think that that's my initial read. And then this is kind of showing up in your fears related to, developing your immense creative potential stemming from these energies here. And how, the fear of standing in your power. And I think that what I'm getting here is this 6 of Swords energy is I'm getting this fear that there are things that you're going to have to leave behind. And it's almost like the mental constriction side of the Fool. So the Fool doesn't really have the same this is not a minor arcana reflection of the Fool, but I'm getting Fool energy from this, where it's sort of like it would be like the Fool in reverse, right? Where there is so much overthinking about taking leaps forward and moving away from things, feeling like you can't really, there's not really a capacity. And I read this in terms of the 3 swords that are part of the broken heart. So there's something that you're leaving behind that left you feeling kind of disappointed or perhaps betrayed. It could be a person, but I'm getting more so that this is to do with things happening internally, just because of the 10 of Cups and the Chariot being you. So this is really about your energy and you moving forward. So I think that there's a certain transformative energy that has been invited into your world already. And I think this month is going to be about you really leaning into that, and not being afraid. You know, this is, I almost feel like this is the person that you're leaving behind, be it an actual person or a part of yourself. And this is you, right? You know, small fish in a big pond. Is what I'm hearing right now. And I think that that feeling of moving away from a sense of safety and comfort, right? That fulfillment too, right? This is the energy. This is how you're using your gifts, skills, and creative abilities related to this vision of forward momentum. So I think that there is there is not, this 6 of Swords is not necessarily a sense of leaving behind with regret or leaving behind with a bitter taste in your mouth. I think it's just that you're recognizing that there's a fulfillment that you're reaching for, and this is you reaching for it despite any, mental, I want to say misgivings or concerns or worries. And I think that these 3 energies together, it's just quite interesting because I'm almost getting that this is, I'll show you the way it shows up here so that you can see how it's sort of forming a picture for me, because I do read the cards intuitively as well as their intended meanings, but it's almost as though you're shining a light on this emotional capacity that you have, and that's what's really giving you the power to leave behind who you were or something that you're working on in search of, not, I don't want to say greener pastures, but I do want to say something that is moving away from perhaps an underlying sense of disappointment or a lack of emotional fulfillment. And, that can often happen when we do creative projects that light us up to a certain extent, but there's a huge part of us missing. Fundamentally, we can't be ourselves, or there's a way that it just feels off by 1 or 2 tacks, and we're trying to get back. 1717 I just saw on the time. But yeah, so, and I'm feeling this is very connected to the lower energy centers, so root, sacral, and solar plexus, because of the colors here, but also the energies that I'm reading from the cards themselves. And I think that this is really owning your confidence. I think that you have an awareness of it, and you're sort of looking at your life here is what I'm seeing. You're looking at your life through the lens of a more confident view of yourself and confident take on yourself. And this is really allowing you to free yourself from mental constrictions that perhaps held you back. And it's really allowing you to lean into that feeling of being a small fish in a big pond, which is super intimidating, right? So I think that if this is your fears related to developing your potential in creative works and all of that this month, I'm getting that you are leaving things behind, but it's not something that's a real tower moment. I think that this has been building for some time, so it won't come as a surprise to you, is what I'm understanding. So, that was intense. All right, Spirit, can you please clarify these cards, these first 3 cards here, this Chariot. First, can you clarify this Chariot for me, this highest vision for the month for my wonderful Cancer peeps? I feel like not everyone's going to be too happy about you doing this, but I think that you have to do what's best for you ultimately, Cancer. I think that you may find that other people will be a little bit upset. I have the 7 of Wands here. They may be upset because it's almost like conflicting passions, right? They want you to do one thing. I'm going to take that too. They want you to do one thing and you want to do another, which is follow your heart, right? Follow where your energy is leading you. So don't be deterred by... I wouldn't be too deterred by people who are particularly defensive. I would, as much as possible, let it roll off your back. Perhaps look to the memory. So sometimes when we're taking new steps, we have more frame of reference for why it won't work than why it will. So the 6 of Cups is related to past energy, so nostalgia, past life, people that have been in your life before. So this could be a call to look back on the times where you channeled this energy, you channeled your own energy and moving forward towards emotional fulfillment, and using the emotional intelligence and awareness of what you would like and what you want to feel in your life. Take that frame of reference from the past so that it makes it easier for you to leave this stuff behind, right? This is more of a spiritual journey, and I kind of got that. So this is like I want to say this is a spiritual path that you're on, but that you're taking more steps towards what means the most to you right now. And that is a beautiful energy to be in, particularly because you're using all of your, you have so much, there's so much that you have to give in terms of, the wishes that have already been fulfilled and the way that that has lit you up. Let the momentum of those things carry you too. Okay, Cancer? I feel like there's a big focus on emotions, and it's not just because you're a water sign and it's channeling that energy. I mean, it might be because of that, but when I was meditating on the energy, I just felt that emotions would figure quite prominently this month, as would boundaries. So I'm getting that a bit actually as well. And I think it's also just a carryover because right now there's so much happening in the world that we have to be very careful and reserved with our energy. If we do not set up good boundaries, it makes it hard for us to integrate lessons for ourselves, to grow and do all of the things that help us develop as human beings and move forward, and, not develop in a way that's talking about productivity or, high potential and achieve this or else. This is really just about you reaching for your best version for you and making sure that you remember the boundary lessons that you've learned before. Taurus got that energy as well. Taurus was very prominent with that. So you could have Taurus placements in your chart as well. All right, and we have the High Priestess and the Knight of Pentacles. So I think that there are offers in terms of perhaps work or creative projects. You're going to have to use your intuition on this. You're going to definitely have to use your intuition on this because there's going to be this compulsion to move backwards. I'm hearing move backwards because of the Seven of Wands energy. Kind of, it's like this push-pull, right? And I know that there's, the rider here technically has control of the horses, but they can very easily become a stampede if there's anything that goes sort of awry or miscommunication happens where the lines aren't clear. 2-2-2-2 on the time. And I think that it'll be very obvious to you. This is really your highest vision. So it is you integrating all of this, moving past stress and, frustration and you feeling like you have to defend decisions. You don't need to justify anything to anyone. Remember that, okay? I know that you're a very nurturing sign, and the Cancerians in my life have always been some of the most, always and never. These are binaries to kind of shy away from, but they are quite welcoming. They welcome you with open arms, and they are some of the most nurturing and fun people that I've been around. So I think that energy is, there's just this leaving behind, and it's difficult when you care so much about others, when you feel like you're letting them down. So just remember this, Cancer, that there's so much wisdom to be had in not only following your intuition, but if it's leading you away, and this could also be going back to the past and you're feeling defensive because others are trying to tell you not to, but you understand, what's best for you. You've put in the time to understand that this is a lesson that you've learned, right? And I think that you're moving forward, or there's an offer coming in that's going to show you that you're on the right path. It's going to show you that you're on the right path, that your intuition has not been proving you wrong. Or it's steering you wrong, I should say. And this could also represent loosely, this could also represent things that you'll understand and come to value about where you've been, and, intuitive way, things that become clearer through your intuition in Taurian time. So when we go into April 19th, so that could be something that features prominently in your consciousness or awareness about what you want, right? Because this is your highest vision for the month. And what a vision, right? This is a lot of internal work and moving more towards your journey, moving further on your path. So that is excellent energy to be channeling going into April, because we have the energy of Aries, right? So this kind of moving with these energies allows us to use their momentum for our personal momentum. So it'll be, I think, a great opportunity for you this month. Yeah. I am seeing shadow work here with the High Priestess and the sorry. My cat would like you to know that she would like to go out. So just give me 1 second here. There you go, baby. Freaking cats. I love them, but... So the Eight of Cups here tells me that there are things that you're moving away from. And I don't know, this is a lot of movement energy. A lot of movement energy, but not necessarily, it's almost like this ebb and flow, right? This ebb and flow, like you're moving forward. The highest vision that you have is forward movement, which is amazing. And then what you're finding is that there's a bit of resistance and you're looking back to the past, but there's a knowing that you have about where you need to go. And you're really doing that slow and steady. And that's a really beautiful energy. So hold tightly to that vision that you have, because it will take you to the right places. So on the how you're using your gifts, skills, and creative abilities related to this vision is the Ten of Cups, which is a beautiful emotional fulfillment energy. The Hanged Man is clarifying that. So that is Neptune energy, which is sort of the higher octave of Venus, and a great energy too, because High Priestess is Venus energy. So it's almost as though there's this this sensuality and this love that will be becoming apparent to you, be it in the form of a person. Okay, this could be an earth sign coming in that will help you understand these things. Could be, could be offers either of love or work that will help you to reconnect you with this deep sense of love, right? It's not passionate energy that's sort of unstable. This has a lot of stability to it, and it tells me that it's something that there's like a commitment energy to it. So that could be a person coming in. It could be something that you're recommitting to in terms of your work, or energies that you're directing towards work. So I don't know why, but I'm hearing you've got mail. Oh my gosh. That is very, very early internet. Okay. Spirit, can you please continue to clarify for me this Hanged Man on the Ten of Cups? Thank you. Okay, so we have the World and the Knight of Wands. So there's that kind of unstable energy. And this could just be once you pull together this lesson and this awareness that you're coming to, right? You're not feeling stuck necessarily. It's just that you've taken your time, right? Taken your time. That's okay. But there's a lot of internal awareness and enlightenment that I'm seeing here, right? You have the High Priestess as well as the Eight of Cups. So there's a lot of internal understanding. People can't see this stuff happening, but you know it. And there's a lot... it may make you want to rush into something, but I think that you're really being called to not put the brakes on, but to take your time. Take your time. And that could be part of a lesson too, right? Like instead of sending emails when you get them, if it's an email that leaves you feeling a certain emotionally charged kind of way, it could need to be, it could be that you are taking a step back instead of charging forward, right? And I'm seeing these two knights face each other in a kind of oppositional way. So these could be two competing ways of being that you've had to integrate within yourself, right? And then the traditional, so the Chariot has the same color horses here. So this could be what you're being led by in terms of emotions and how you do things. So these could be two energies that you're needing to, you know, your gifts and creative skills and abilities could be charged by both of these energies, and you're having to integrate both of them. I'm hearing make a choice about which one you're going to let be the most prominent this month, but it could just be that you're having to make a choice about what impact you want to have, because I think these two energies are excellent to integrate within you, right? Fire and earth are, you know, steady and fast moving. So there's a beautiful balance that can come into play when these two energies are brought together. And I think that when you make plans and you come from that emotionally aware and fulfilled place, you can really get far. And the Queen of Wands, so more fire energy. So this could be fire, a fire sign. specifically with the Knight of Wands clarified by the Queen of Wands. It could be a fire sign that's coming in. Once you sort of integrate these lessons as well, that's a whole other story that I'm seeing here. It could be someone from your past. And there's just a way that you're doing things differently now. With the Eight of Cups and the Six of Swords here in fears, it could be that you're afraid of doing the same thing that you've always done before, but you're learning lessons that are important, right? Page of Cups. You're learning how to offer love and offer of yourself in ways that you weren't necessarily able to before, and that's going to change the game for you. I think that that's going to change the way that you do things. And, you know, the quote, I think it was Wayne Dyer, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. The things you look at change. So it could be that you're kind of bringing in that energy, and that your fear is that you're going to fall back into old ways. And I'm seeing here just now, there's a moon in the top corner. So this could be something around the Libra full moon that you're going to understand that you really, it's okay to just move past these ways of seeing things and ways of looking at things that you did before. There could be some throat chakra unblocking that needs to be done. Which is important to not just, we think about the throat chakra in terms of speaking and, you know, but it's also how we take in an awareness, right? It's also our understanding, our mental understanding and clarity. Third eye, it also, so these two work together. So if one is blocked, it's really hard to receive or give information clearly, right? And the same thing with the heart. So there's whatever energy center you have. So let's use the cards, for example. So if this is your throat chakra, and then on either side you have the heart or the third eye, either of those will be impacted if there's a blockage. So it's important to keep that clear and to keep a significant sense of clarity there. And I think that to keep a sense of clarity, oh my goodness, I think to maintain a sense of clarity, my cat is outside meowing to get in because she can't make up her mind. She is not a Gemini, she's an Aries. Come on. No hate on Geminis. I have Gemini on my chart. It's just that, you know, they have all these memes about cats, like not sure if they want to go in or out or in or out. So I think that ultimately you are going to emerge victorious over. I think you're going to emerge victorious and understand that this could be the fire energy winning. Oof, that's rough. Anyways, this could be what I'm getting from the 4 different storylines just ran through my head. So the first one was that there's going to be a fire energy that's winning in you. So your passion's coming back to you because you've taken things slowly and understood where you're coming from and where you've been. And you're becoming more okay slowly with the Hangman energy, integrating all of these lessons, the 10 of Cups being the fulfillment that you've wanted, but that's also the fulfillment that you've had. So I think that you are letting go of what hasn't been working, and that's allowing you to offer of yourself, but also to receive love and to receive messages from others as they were intended, as I'm thinking of the throat chakra there. This, you know, the Six of Wands tends to be like a victory card or celebration, like public victory. So it could be that you're getting some kind of promotion or recognition in your career or a creative work that you're doing. Maybe there's fire. What I'm also getting is that there's a Cancerian with some fire in their chart, perhaps in a Mars placement or Saturn placement where you've really been putting in the work, and the Aries season is really gonna activate that for you, and that there is victory that you're coming to understand. And maybe you've been afraid of your emotions, right? Maybe you've been afraid of taking steps forward in them and with them that you haven't before, because it may not have always served you the best to do so. Right? So, and the Seven of Wands tells me that, you know, you're progressing from that people being very defensive to ultimately them being okay. And maybe the other thing to take in here too is that with the Six of Swords, this is internal worries, and then this is external victory. So I think that your worries and your fears and the ways that you're hiding these creative skills in terms of worrying about taking the steps to be that little, to be the little fish in the big pond, right? Offer of yourself anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway, because this is on the other side of it. And it's going to reconnect you with, it's not just a celebration card, but to me, it's like a reconnecting with passion in a public way. So 2 cards from the bottom. And we have, yeah. So we have the 5 of Wands and the Chariot. So I think that ultimately your success is going to really make inaudible just the petty conflicts, the stupid things that people do when they get jealous or they just want to stir up conflict, right? You're just over it. You're moving past it. You know why? Because you came out again to clarify this card. So this is really, to me, a sense of empowerment moving through this. And when we're working on creative projects, the 5 of Wands can be just people leaving crappy comments, people taking ideas and not giving credit in a meeting so that you can't say anything about it, right? So that it's sort of like, if you do, then it becomes like, well, you're not a team player. So I think it's okay. This is the Aries, Libra, Moon energies, encouraging us to balance ourselves. I think that when you bring in that sense of balance, it's going to allow you to move forward, because you're going to recognize what matters and what does not, right? Maybe I'm getting this Knight of Pentacles as being more you than anyone coming in necessarily. It could be that a fire sign is a knight. So this is something else that's coming through. It could be that a fire sign is coming through and they are actually a knight, but they're pretending to be a Queen of Wands. So it could be that they're trying to channel this energy, and that's where the sense of manipulation is coming from, because you can see it. You can see it and you know this. But they're putting on quite a good show. They're putting on a show, and that's really taking away from your energy. But if that is the storyline for you, I think that you're moving past it because you recognize your power. You're just done. You're done. And you are indeed like moving past the fear. And what I like about the way that this is coming together is you start with the Chariot for your highest vision for the month. And then the card that clarifies how you're hiding is you. So, it tells me that there's sort of a progression here, and that the world is here because it is essentially saying that you're moving past it. You're moving through it. There's an integration of knowledge. There's an integration of energies here. And something else so the planets and I'll do that at the end. The planets and signs that I'm seeing and how they relate to houses and things. So, okay, lots here, Cancer. Wowza. Sometimes people are really disappointing. I'm getting that, and like I've worked through that too. And it's just, you have to really let go of the idea that people's energy is, you can't be responsible for it. And you really have to get comfortable with yourself. You have to really step into your power, Cancer, because if you care enough, and it's not even too much, just enough. If you care enough, it will really drain you. It will really drain you, and it will put you in that 6 of Swords place where you're constantly leaving things behind. But I'm hearing this question, when was the last time that it occurred to you that you could stand in place and be emotionally fulfilled and feel confident in where you were? Oof, I don't know who that's for. So in this position of how your relationships to others with on similar paths, or in relation to your gifts, skills, and your vision and potential, this is sort of how others can help you. And the World showed up again. So this is the World twice. So the Chariot and the World twice. There are a lot of and the 10s, there's completions here, right? There's completions, and it could be that there's an end of a project that you're reflecting on now, that you're pulling back from, and you're doing kind of like a 360 on it, and just asking yourself what worked and what didn't. And this could be a relationship too. A relationship may have ended, and this is you getting your confidence back after petty conflict and having to ask for things over and over and over and over again, right? This unending conflict, this cyclical conflict where it just felt like, I've experienced this too, where you ask for something and it feels like the most basic thing. And when people repeatedly deny that to you and then tell you that they care, it can really screw with your head, right? It can really screw with you because it makes you feel like it's an unreasonable request. It puts you in your head instead of into the arms of someone who would actually have no problem doing that. So that's for somebody. So the world is Saturn energy. So this is where, like, I think that you've had to really work hard at this, and work hard at letting these things go and prioritizing yourself, Cancer. And again, be that with projects or whatever. Sometimes it's really hard because if we have skill sets and things that we really enjoy doing or that we're good at, what we can get wrapped up in is the fact that we can get stuck in this idea that we have to stick with them because we've always done it before. 6 of Cups, right? 7 of Wands. We've always done it before, but you don't have to do that anymore. You really don't. So and I think you're learning that, and that's quite beautiful energy. Yeah, see, you're learning that. You're learning that. It's changed you. Okay, so Spirit, can you please clarify the World card here in how others can help my dear Cancers related to their interpersonal relationships? Thank you so much. This one wanted to come out, and then you. A lot of Knights here. So this could be energies that have been conflicting for you. The Ace of Wands, though, tells me that there's a bit of inspiration that you're gaining from this, and that is going to carry you forward. The Knight of Wands energy and the Knight of Swords energy almost looks like someone that is, this could be how others are helping you this month, is by testing you, right? By charging back at your success and the things, like, it's almost like they're like, are you sure? Are you sure? And they just want to, you know, there's people who enjoy conflict, and it's not that they're bad people. Some of them are, but I think that sometimes we just get used to chaos and conflict as a way to define growth. So they're operating very unconsciously because they're operating from a place of conflict is how they feel they're helping you to develop and grow. But what you actually need, is this sense of integration of lessons, this protection from angels for somebody that's for somebody. You know, this is Pluto energy too, so more transformative energy. You need to know that the changes that you're making are ones that are sticking. You don't need the conflict to define your progress. Yeah, you don't need the conflict to define progress. And I think too that the Judgment card, the Judgment card is, for me, it represents 6 of Cups and 9 of Cups energy reflected in the minor arcana. Now, I only see the 6 of Cups here in terms of the past. So I think that so many thoughts today, Cancer. This reading is quite long, but I'm okay with it if you're okay with it. There are things from the past that you're gaining real clarity on, and it could just be these Knight of Swords type people who are mired in that conflict. And it's giving you inspiration. Moving away is opening you up. It's opening you up. So, you know, moving away and with certainty and confidence is opening you up. Yeah. See, you know, like, this is you looking at the horizon of all of the things that you've created. You're aware. You're clear. You're very clear on this. And, you know, this is where your success is. This tells me a lot about where your focus may have been. You know, your focus may have been this Knight of Pentacles here, looking at the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords, looking at the conflict. But this is telling me that it's just a realignment of perspective, right? It's a realignment of perspective. And the Chariot represents in the minor arcana the 3 and 8 of Wands in terms of movement, and you have the 3 of Wands here. So this is just kind of like a little nudge from from Spirit, from the universe, on if this is a little test that comes in to sort of test your resolve. I'm hearing you're going to find that if the past comes calling, you don't have to look, right? Keep your perspective clear, and keep your keeping your perspective clear will help keep your heart clear too. And so this is I just realized that I mixed this up, and this could be just a message from Spirit. I'm kidding. But anyway, so how and where you hide. So the Moon card, is how and where you're hiding. So you may be hiding in sort of the shadows of yourself. And that could be related to, I'm getting the full moon in Libra on the 16th, the relationships, the ways that you've balanced who is most important, you or other people, relative to your needs. So that's some pretty intense energy. So resist the urge to hide in that and to use that as a reason to disconnect from yourself. Yeah, there's, you know, these are, okay, so I will tell you this. In the 8 of Cups here, both of these energies are represented, right? So trust in what you're moving away from and resist the urge to hide when it feels uncomfortable. When it feels uncomfortable. I'm also getting that this is sort of like the integration of energies, and this could be two different parts of you that you haven't really felt comfortable. It's almost, so the way I'm looking at this, I'm trying to explain this as I see it, because I'm currently staring into the candles / the middle distance here, channeling information as I get it. But I almost feel like there's a bridge between these two energies that you're building, right? There's a bridge between these two energies that you're building, with all of the things that you're learning and integrating, and the tests that you've learned. Yeah. So I think that the test that you've learned from, I should say, yeah, there's definite movement forward, but you are building that bridge. And I think it's going to happen when you really gain an understanding. Yeah, 10 of Pentacles, Hierophant, 8 of Wands, the Star. And I'll pull out the Emperor because I saw them. I think that these things are healing. It's allowing you to come into a greater sense of commitment to your work, greater clarity with the Queen of Swords that popped up on the bottom at one point. I'm getting that there's healing too, because the Aquarian energy here, but I pulled out the Emperor because I think that this is your energy. So this could be you as an entrepreneur, or integrating all of the skills of the King. So King of Pentacles, knowing what you value and being very clear on it in the King of Swords, and not being afraid to be the most passionate person in the room, even if you're fearful of other people and their reactions to it, because it's made them uncomfortable, you know, being told you're too much of this and too much of that, or not enough, or all of that message. So the King of Wands is a good reminder to move past that. And then we have the King of Cups, which is kind of your element, right? So this is you being in your element and understanding what you want and why, and the feelings that infuse all of the other lessons of the Kings into one integrated whole you. So I think that what you may be hiding from and how you may be hiding is you're obviously moving through it. I see that with the 8 of Wands and the rest of this spread. But I'm also seeing that you may have hidden before under the auspices of, you know, I'm so fulfilled, and I know, like, it's almost like you've lied to yourself a little bit. But when you start to pass these different little tests that come up, and they're not tests in terms of that you have to be tested in order to have these lessons. I think about it as tests in terms of these things will show up again, and your reaction will be different. Your reaction will be different, right? It's just not serving you anymore. So you're like, bye. It just, I'm out. So I think during Aries time, so this is really, to me, this is quite lovely, because I think that between Aries and Taurus time, there's going to be both a lot of movement forward and healing. And because this is also a minor arcana reflection of the Chariot, you're going to see a lot of not just healing of self, but I think healing of the ways that you've been relative to what you value, right? And this is also a clarity of what you value too. And I think that instead of hiding between these two extremes of the moon and the sun, I'm thinking extremes, and I don't know why, where everything is hidden or everything is in the light. There's a balance that you can bring. And it would not shock me if justice came out, but I think that you're integrating all of these things. So between Aries and Taurus time, I think that there's going to be some messages coming in, or epiphanies, those aha moments that you'll find really healing, that you will find very healing. So Spirit, can I just clarify how my wonderful Cancerians are helping others this month with everything that they're learning, or giving them some ideas of ways that they can help others and serve this month too? Thank you so much, Spirit. Ooh, yeah, your transformation. What you're going through here is going to help other people. That's what I said. Like, what did I say? Saying screw this to something and walking away is going to be your greatest gift to other people. Yeah. This is the minor arcana reflection of this card. So it's almost like Spirit was like, yep, that's what you need. I don't know how loud that was. Sorry. But I love it when Spirit does that. It's a confirmation of me it's a confirmation for me as a reader that there's something really important and profound happening to pay attention to. So this, I'm hearing this too, that look for the stars to build a bridge between the sun and the moon. Look for the stars. There's 7 stars here. The 8th star, 8 is the strength card. So I'm, 7 minor stars and a large one. I don't know why. Build a bridge between. Anyway, let the stars build a bridge between. It could be that you have placements with Chiron or with Lilith or your nodes that could be a bridge here, that, like the stars. You could be a star seed, and that could be some bridges that you're building. But you got the 10 of Cups, which is great because that was how you're going about it. You know, how you're using your gifts, skills, and creative abilities related to this great vision that you have for yourself. And the 10 of Cups is here as how you're helping others. So this is really like, I'm seeing this integration energy, this chariot energy where you're like bringing all of this stuff together, moving forward. So this is, if you're working on a project, I'm almost getting that there's like, I know that April in, you know, a business sense with tax time and everything tends to be Q1. So it could be that with creative projects, you're really starting to get a feel for where you want to go based on where you've been. And I'm seeing that really the sky is the limit for you. Yeah, the sky is the limit for you. But you have to let go of the shit that you've been carrying. Don't let the, you know, when we think about the ways that we look at projects or relationships, we tend to look at them through the eyes of the knowledge that we have now, which can make them feel like this, but it's really just a perspective shift away. Yeah, see, I feel like I don't even know. Spirit is just saying like, yep, yep, yep. Oh my gosh. So really, it's about your perspective. You know, don't break your own freaking heart here. Thinking about every like time wasted or, you know, this impatience with yourself. Let it all go, right? Just let it go, because when you do that, there's so much more on the horizon. There's so much more. There's so much more on the horizon here. Things that you value, love, your cup overflowing with, you know, with things that mean something to you because you've done the work to integrate all of these lessons. So, okay, we're going to clarify these with the Gabrielle Bernstein deck now. I feel like that was one hell of a reading for you, Cancer. I really like it. I like this idea of you finding out what's most important to you and kind of looking back productively. But don't look back completely, right? Okay, that's way too many. Spirit, can you please clarify this reading for my wonderful Cancerians and for their energy using this Gabrielle Bernstein deck for the month of April 2022 relative to their creative energy forecast? Thank you so much, Spirit. I can change my patterns when I change my mind about them. Fucking A. Yeah. I feel like that's exactly what this month is for you. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I'll move that here so you can see it. I can change my patterns when I change my mind about them. I can find peace in every breath. So I think this is almost like treasures found, right? I get that this is you and that these are the kind of treasures that you're finding, this clarity, and then all of these offers come in. So this is you embarking on that journey. I almost get that knowing what you value is like a kind of shield for you, not to shield you from experiences, but it's almost like a way that you're approaching things so that you do not need, it's almost like an armor, but the higher octave of armor, if that makes sense. Instead of being defensive, you just show up knowing what you want, and then that's how everything comes together. But remember that changing your patterns, so this reflection idea, right? Changing your patterns, you can do that when you change your mind about them. And it may be that you're going into more meditative practices and that will help you because of finding peace in every breath here. Okay. Spirit, can you please clarify this wonderful energy? This is the Notes from the Universe on Love and Connection deck by Mike Dooley. All there is to love has been there all along. All there is to love has been there all along. So the back says, when you begin to find love in people and places where you haven't found it before, it's always because you've grown. You so rock. And that's, again, the releasing patterns, right? So it could be that there's just a slight perspective shift. There are some major arcana here. There's quite a bit, but I'm just understanding that this is about movement forward, and I think healing the way that you've had to relate to what you want to do and where you want to go, and feeling like you have to justify things, right? Like the knights, the fire knight, that's the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords are the two energies of other people, and they're looking backwards, but you're the Knight of Pentacles looking forwards, and Death is also looking forwards. So I think, you know, it's that maintaining the right perspective, because that's where focus on your success, because your focus and your perspective. This isn't a Swords card, but the Queen of Swords came out twice, I guess, on the bottom of the deck before and again. So the perspective is what's going to, you know, when you change your mind about them. So other people aren't going to change. You have to. You have to change. And that's, yeah, so this one here too. Thank you so much, Spirit. Dwell on what you love. Asking someone to change is like pruning a tree. Neither will ever be the same again. Scarier still is knowing that you can't quite know in what new directions they'll grow. I wouldn't change a leaf on you, the universe. I think that there could be people that you've been wanting to change too. If this is a romantic relationship, this could be this sort of battle that you've been locked in with somebody who you've been just asking and asking and asking and asking to change, and they're not going to. It's just going to make you feel more conflicted and lost. But as soon as you connect to what you want and really change your perspective and thought about it, and just start to accept that person for where they are, if they cannot give you what you need, it behooves you to take a step back, reevaluate. And if you need to go into that Pluto transformation energy, I don't see the Tower here, so there's nothing that's coming in like a bang. But I think this is just you coming to an understanding of what's most important to you, and acting in the Queen of Swords accordingly. And then on the other side of the Queen of Swords, lo and behold, the love that you deserve, and the things that you value coming in, and it's the stuff that you want and deserve coming in. So that's just something to keep in mind here. So in terms of signs and planets, I see High Priestess, so Venus, but that can also be Taurus and Libra. And I see the Hangman, which is Pluto energy, the World, which can be Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Scorpio. And then I also see the Chariot, which is your card, Cancer, Chariot up here, your card again, the World here, so Saturn twice. So again, being very disciplined about this lesson. Sometimes when it comes to our emotions, we don't we feel like discipline emotionally is about, you know, being stoic and the shadow side of stoicism and not showing emotion whatsoever. But I think that when you get into that energy, you're going to be just fine. Discipline will be required, but it's not about hiding emotions. So more moon energy here. So that technically is Pisces, but I read it as yours because it's the 4th house. So again, I forgot to do this too. So Venus, so this is the 2nd and 7th house. Saturn is the 11th house and 10th house. So this could be to do with career and community, and feeling like you belong is what I'm hearing. Sun energy is Leo, so that's 5th house. We have the Hierophant, which is Taurus, so 2nd house, and Emperor, which is Aries, and the 1st house. Aquarius is the Star card, and that's also Saturn and Uranian energy. And that's the 11th house too. So Death is Pluto energy and Scorpio. Though I will say that it could be like the Tower is more Mars energy. Pluto is more transformation. So that's why I read that in the Death card. But yeah, so those are your signs. This is your reading. It's been a bit on the long side, but I'm okay with that. You're worth it. So thank you so much for joining me here, Cancer. Have a wonderful month, and I will see you on the many ways that we can connect. If you liked this reading and it resonated for you, please like and subscribe so that I can keep growing this channel and doing what I'm doing, because I quite love it, and so that I can keep connecting to Spirit to bring you some messages. So I greatly appreciate your energy and your time. Have a wonderful month, my beautiful Cancerians. Take care.